people never talk about before your career. What were you, before you got into radio, before you got into politics, what was your life? What was your goals in life? Like, where were you born? What was your ambitions? Like, who was young before career political Alex Jones? Like, who were you before all this?
Well, I was just an American. I was a Texan. I grew up out in a bedroom community outside Dallas, probably about 30 miles from where we are right now. There I'm in like 1995. And so I was about 21 then. And
you are a stud now, but you were a total Chad right there. Like, people always think that you were just this big, like, boxy dude. That's crazy. You look like a total Chad. Like, you look like that's the jawline, everything. Look at this. Like, I mean, this is this is before the globalists try to take you out.
Absolutely. I'm like 21 there, 20. And so, long story short, I'm just a populist. I believe in freedom. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in national sovereignty. And I believe, I saw zoning laws when I lived in Austin. They were taking old people's houses because they'd have a tree that had fallen down in the backyard. The zoning people would. And my grandfather lived in South Austin, and they had a city creek behind his house with a drainage ditch that wasn't even on his property coming in. And trees washed in there, and they started giving him like $500 a day of fines. So he had heart problems. He got back there with a chainsaw and was cutting it up and actually got a heart attack. And then I went and checked the city zoning. This is when I was about 20. Or about 19. I went and checked the city zoning. It wasn't his property. It was all a lie. They were just harassing old people to drive up fines and put liens on their houses to take them. And so I had a lot of reasons to go get on Access TV, but I was calling to talk radio about it, saying, hey, they're doing this. It's a scam. And the local talk radio that was kind of liberal made fun of me on 590 AM. So I said, well, there's Access TV. I'm going to go down and take the few classes, pay a couple $100, get on TV, and I'm going to go show how they're doing this to other people. So by then, my grandfather hadn't had that issue or whatever, my grandparents, but other people, they were doing it too. So this is me showing how the city councilwoman has overgrown vines, a derelict vehicle, 3-foot grass. I showed the health department had 2-foot grass, and then a Roland Ellingson, an old veteran arborist actually in town who had cancer, colon cancer. Roland Ellingson had a nice house in a gentrifying area on like East 37th Street, and he had neighbors that were involved with the health department trying to take his property and others. And we learned that a whole bunch of houses were getting $2,000 a day fines and liens on their homes and going to the bank trying to take their houses that were freed and paid for. So I started airing these pieces. This is a short clip out of context they put on the internet. Somebody found and put on Twitter a few weeks ago. They got like 8 million views or something overall last time I checked. And the local police actually called me and said, hey, Alex, they called my tip line. I had like a regular phone line, answer machine for the Access show. Go to these city council people's houses and the health department, and you'll see they're far worse than Roland Ellingson and other people. So I went and did that. It ended up being in the paper. They had to admit I was right. They discovered a ring at the health department that was stealing people's money. I then discovered another ring that was involved stealing money out of the city. They sent a couple people to prison over that. And so this was just an old-fashioned investigation.
Well, and so this is obviously, you kind of fell into this by accident, or was it on purpose?
No, they messed with my grandfather.
Right, so I'm saying, so you felt the duty to have to do it. They said,
it's your job to clean this creek out. And I remember he had the deed to his house and everything, saying, that's not my property, I'll do it. And so there wasn't even a fence back there, so he went back through the woods, through a neighbor's yard, and cut up these trees and stuff. And then had a heart attack that made me madder on top of it, because he was a little bit fat. And so then I got pissed. That was just one of the reasons I got pissed. And that just takes me back to one of the reasons I got involved probably a year or two later, by the time I was doing a show on this, about what they were doing to old people.
A great philosopher once said that you can be 2 out of 3 things: liberal, smart, or honest, but you can't be all 3. At Slightly Offensive, we're smart and honest. And if you like this clip, head over to Slightly Offensive YouTube channel by clicking right here, where you can find new episodes of our show weekly. We're bringing you the topics, news stories, and angles that will have you saying, why the hell wasn't I subscribed sooner? Also, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to this channel too.